Hello and welcome to the Fourth and Fierce podcast, Football Talk Fierce and Unfiltered. My name is MJ and welcome to the sweatiest episode yet. It's flipping hot here. Like it's first thing in the morning and we're cooking. And so is the NFL. As always, please feel free to reach out to me at my email at fourthandfierce@gmail.com. That's the number 4THANDFIERCE@gmail.com. Again, I'm grateful for each and every one of you, every view, every click. It doesn't hurt to like, follow, and subscribe, especially if you like the content. So this is episode 6 that we're working on today, and we have actual football to talk about. Now, I know we talked football a little bit last week because we did have the Lions and the Chargers, but we had all the other teams this week, and it was great to get some preseason action. So we're going to just dive right on into that today. So these are just some of my takeaways. Again, this is a fan cast. This is not a podcast. I am not a professional. I am not media trained. I work in a whole nother field. This is just a person who loves the game and loves talking about it, and I'll talk to you. So I'm going to start with my favorite QB playing right now. Now, everyone knows I'm a Lions fan. I mean, I just am. That's what I do. So it's a given that Jared Goff and my Lions are my fave, and I feel so bad for what happened with the Lions. When they were playing the Falcons, the game got suspended with I think 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, due to an injury to a player, Maurice, I believe it was Harris, I'm not sure, but we're all praying for him and hoping he's doing well. And when I say I'm praying for somebody, I'm actually praying for him. I'm not just, those aren't just words. I actually put out a real prayer. And I really hope that he's okay. Last I checked, he was stable, in stable condition. So we're really hoping a speedy recovery for this young man and get his life back on track. Even if he can't get on the field again, we want him to be okay. That is where we are with that. But that game was pretty decent as well. We got to see a little bit of the starters, not as much as I would like, but it was okay. But I got off topic. We're talking Joe Burrow today. Now, you even got the orange nails. Everyone knows I love Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is who I thought was supposed to be, who should have been the MVP. I mean, he literally should have been the MVP. I understand it was Josh's turn, and that's a whole nother argument, because Lamar actually played better. I'm just going to say that because he did. But they're like, oh, you already got one. It's Josh's turn. I don't like the whole participation era that we're in. It's stupid. You should earn it. And I don't think anyone earned it more than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals always have a slow start. Like they just start slow, but then they end up catching fire at the end. So I believe this preseason, what they did is try to get that momentum early because they played, I think, the entire first quarter, the starters. And let me tell you something. The Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase connection is it's right up there with some of the best. They have a chemistry, and it comes from their LSU days and their time at Cincinnati. They look so good together. Like they just look amazing. I love a good QB wide receiver connect, and that's my favorite in the league right now. They looked good. They looked poised. I think what they're trying to do is get that momentum early right now in preseason so they don't start the season off slow, so they can really, because they were one game out. Honestly, they weren't even a game out for the playoffs. They just needed, I think, Denver to lose, and I think Kansas City rested all their starters, and Denver ended up winning, which don't get me started on resting starters. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's what's wrong with the NBA. You shouldn't rest people. I get taking them out of the game a little bit earlier, giving them rest periods during the game, but not starting it's like you're giving up. I don't like that. I think most fans don't, because it kind of changes the landscapes of things, because it allows a team that, and I don't want to say didn't deserve, but it allows a team to get in the playoffs who isn't going to be competitive really, because they got to play, the second stringers, and they played all their first stringers because they had something to play for. I think and this is, again, one of the things I really, really love about the NFL is there are only 17 games. Each and every game matters. I don't think you should rest anybody. I just don't. Unless they're injured or hurt, you can pull them out of the game early. I just don't think you should rest players for entire games. I just don't. And if you believe that I'm crazy, go back and look many, many years ago. Denver Broncos against Jacksonville Jaguars, and I believe the wild card. No, it was the wild card. I'm not sure, but you can look it up. They rested all. Denver had wrapped up everything so early. They rested all of their starters. I mean, John Elway's on the bench, Shannon Sharp's on the bench, Terrell Owens. Everyone's sitting down in street clothes, and they came back and that chemistry was off. They were a little rusty. They had to shake it off and got beat by Jacksonville. That was probably one of the biggest upsets I've ever seen in sports, but it was insane. And that's what you take the risk of when you rest your players. And again, I think everyone needs a little bit of rest. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think you should be resting your players for like 2 entire games, a whole game, because they lose a little bit of that momentum that can carry you over to the playoffs. Look at all the wild card teams that have won Super Bowls. Look at the Giants, the year they beat the Patriots. Like both times, they were wild card teams. So, but anyway, I got completely off topic. I told you I could talk about this all day. I got completely off topic. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are elite. They're top tier. They're one of the best wide receiver quarterback combos that I've ever seen. And I feel like they're going to be a real force this year. Like I said, that division itself is a very interesting watch because you have Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin. I don't know how that's going to go. You have Baltimore, who's always right up there. And I want to see if they really get in their bag this year with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. I don't think they really got in their bag last year because they kept trying to make Lamar like a better passer. And he's already a great passer. But that's not really where they are. Like the danger with this team is that he could run or pass. And I just don't think they're putting that together correctly. I just don't. I really think they should be putting that together a little bit differently. Especially when it comes to that run threat. Because nothing wears on a defense faster than a running game. It'll just wear you down, make you tired. So I really think they should try to incorporate some more of those, quarterback run plays, even some good play actions. Derrick Henry can catch the ball off the backfield. Like, he's a big guy. Like, I think they should really, they could really get into their bag. And then you have Cleveland, which I like Cleveland. I think Cleveland's pretty good. They've always been right on the cusp. But we're gonna talk Shedeur, just not right now. But we're definitely gonna talk Shedeur. But Cleveland, that division is interesting because it can really go anywhere because you have 4 different teams that do 4 different things really, really well. And that could really change the landscape of the AFC North. But anyway, that Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow combo, elite. We're going to talk Cam Ward. Cam Ward was #1 pick, and a lot of people feel he's disrespected. He's not getting the media, the attention, and the things that they feel like he should get. I have mixed feelings about that. I do. I think that not being being in the media right now is good for him. I think that works in his favor because it gives him a little bit more time to develop. He's not under so much scrutiny. It's not you have to win now, because there have been times where quarterbacks had, I'll use an example back on Cleveland with Tim Couch many, many years ago. Probably a lot of you don't know who Tim Couch is. Tim Couch was #1 draft pick. They just thought he would be just the greatest, and they were focused on Tim Couch all the time. And he was very good in college, but he went to Cleveland, and in that time it was not a very good team. And those types of, and then the scrutiny started. So the media got on him. Oh, well, he's not doing this, was not doing that. Well, they weren't necessarily taking into account that he did not have a good offensive line. He didn't have a good defense. He didn't have the pieces that can help you be successful. Like I said, NFL is an ultimate team sport. And I really think you have to, when these quarterbacks go high, they're going to teams that those teams picked high because they weren't very good or they didn't win. So you have to find pieces and put things together to help them along the way. And I think that that's one thing that the NFL kind of fails at quite a bit. I don't want to say fail, but I think they missed the mark. They think, oh, we can plug him in, we're good to go. That's not generally how that works. It generally isn't. I mean, Peyton Manning's rookie year, he won 3 games. He struggled, and I watched every game. But they put the pieces around him. He had Tony Dungy. I think his first year it was when Marshall Faulk was there. I think Marshall Faulk left after Peyton's first or second year and went to St. Louis. But they started putting the pieces around him, and he got better, and he got better. And I don't think that every organization does that well. The Lions didn't do it well until here recently. So I really think that uh, getting back to Cam Ward, I think he's in a pretty decent position. Tennessee was not the, I mean, they were they picked number one last year, so clearly they weren't a good team, but they have some decent pieces. They have a middle of the road defense. I think Tony Pollard is their running back. I think they have a veteran wide receiver. If they can shore up that run game and get him, like, he has a veteran wide receiver, so he's able to, I think he has Calvin Ridley, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's going to be able to, they're not going to win 10 games. They're not. But that's not where you're looking for in your rookie. You're looking for development. You're looking for how is he in the pocket. You're looking, does he know when to use his legs? Does he know when to look downfield? Does he know when to check down? Does he know when to go to a second or third option? You're looking for more here, because the physical ability is generally always there with these guys. So you're looking for how is he reacting under pressure. And I think Cam Ward is in a good position. Like I said, I think he's going to do well down in Tennessee. He looked pretty decent. I think he was 5 for 8, about 67 yards. He didn't play the entire game, but he looked good for the times he was in there. So I think that he's in a good position. And as long as they continue to put the pieces around him, he's going to have a successful career. And he's going to get the media. I know I've seen several like TikToks and things on YouTube and think pieces when everyone's, well, they're talking about it. They're not talking about him. That's a double on top. That's good and bad. He could get all this media attention. Like I said, this is sports. Your ability will shine. If you're good, you're good. If you're good and you're playing well, they can't ignore you. They can't, because we won't let them. So I really think that he's in a unique position, and he's going to be fine. I really do. I think Cam Ward's going to be a pretty good quarterback in the league, as long as they continue to keep the pieces around him. And we're talking J.J. McCarthy. Now, J.J. came from Michigan, my school, the undefeated team. I didn't go to Michigan, but most of my family did, and we're definitely U of M people over here. But Michigan's own J.J. McCarthy did not play last year. He was injured, I think, in a preseason game, and that was it. And then, we saw the emergence of Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold just took the team. I think they were 14-3, and now he's in Seattle. But he looked he looked good. I mean, he looked like J.J., but he's also in a very good position. He's on a team that won 14 games last year. He has Justin Jefferson. They have a good running game. They have a decent, they have a pretty decent offensive line, and they can score. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into that defense, because that defense is, I would say, middle of the road at best, because most of the time they're scoring a lot of points. So my thought process with the NFL is, if you're a great offense and you can score and you have a great defense, you're going to win every time. Look at Philadelphia. But if you're a team that you're heavy offense and your defense doesn't have to do much, then they won't do much. And if they don't do much, other teams if a team can score more than you, then they'll beat you. Because that's pretty much what happened with us in the last game of the season. We just outscored them. And we have a good defense. I mean, we were missing our guys. We had a few players that went out due to injury. We had some players go out due to we were like running on fumes by week 17. I mean, I couldn't even tell you all the players that we had on the team at that time, because we had lost so many people. We were picking people up off the street, practice squad. The fact that we were the number 1 seed with most of our defense was injured, I think starting like around week 10, says a lot about our coaching staff, says a lot about our players and our heart and our grit. And that's why I love my Lions. But JJ has a good offense. That offense is stellar. And if that defense can help them out a bit, he's going to be great. And he has Justin Jefferson. I mean, having Justin Jefferson, and he's essentially a rookie, because he didn't play last year. So having him with Justin Jefferson, I think that's going to be a good combo. I think it's going to help him out. Now, there are analysts, because I watch Get Up every morning and other shows. And there are analysts that feel like, oh, Minnesota's going to win the division. They're not. They're just not. Argue with me if you want to. They will not win this division. This division is a little bit tougher to beat JJ will do well. I think they'll do well. They may be a wild card team like they were last year, but they have to see Green Bay. Green Bay and Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs. That's a good team. They have to see us, and we're stacked, and our defense is back, so we're good to go. And Chicago, like I don't know what Chicago's going to do, and I'm not loving Ben Johnson going down the street to the Bears, but I don't know what Chicago's going to do, but I think that Minnesota, I think JJ will do well. Like I said, when a quarterback's first getting in the league, you're looking for what he knows up here, and JJ looked good. Like I said, he looked good. I didn't see anything that would say, hey, this guy isn't this, or he's not. They shouldn't have drafted him this high. He doesn't know. I think he looked okay. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to do pretty well in the league. And like I said, they may make a wild card, they may not, but that's not what we're looking for. People in Minnesota probably are, but what we're looking for is people who love the game. We're looking for him to develop into that player that we know he can be. And I love JJ. So, just not enough to beat my Lions. And then we have Jackson Dart in New York. Now that to me was really interesting because he played really well. But he also has Malik Neighbors. But in any event, Malik Neighbors was catching passes from I don't even know who last year and was catching them. He's a once in a generation wide receiver. He's really good. But looking at Jackson Dart, he looked interesting. I think he's going to make that quarterback thing in New York a little fun to watch. I don't think he's going to beat Russ out as the starter, as QB1. But I think week one, but eventually I'm thinking 3-4, week 4. If Russ is struggling a little bit, they're going to pull Jackson right in there. That's the way that I see it. That's kind of my thought process regarding how Jackson Dart is going. But he looks good too. Like I said, there are a lot of good quarterbacks that look pretty good this preseason. So I'm interested. I'm interested to see what everyone's going to do. Because there were a lot taken and there were a lot put on the field. Which gets me to Shedeur. Now, I mentioned Shedeur a little bit earlier when we were talking about Cam Ward. And everyone's stating that Shedeur is getting all the media coverage. He's going to get it. He's Deion Sanders' son. He played really well. I think he had 138 yards, a touchdown. I don't remember what he was, his passer rating was, but I know that he did really well. I think he played the entire first quarter, or half, I think, and then entire first half. And Tyler Huntley came in for the second half. He looked really good. Like, the things that people were looking for, they said he could not do well, he did well. He didn't panic. He rolled out. He went to his check downs. He checked his options. He didn't fold in the pocket. Now, did he struggle on those first few drives? Yes. He's a rookie. They mostly do that. The transition from college football to NFL is massive. These players are fast. They move different. They're not the same. So it's going to take a minute before he gets his sea legs. And he looked good. Like, listen, I honestly think he should start, but I'm not that coaching staff. I think he will get more first and second team reps now that he has proven himself, so to speak. The only reason he got the nod, allegedly, is due to the injuries, I think, to Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco, who is QB1. And Joe Flacco being QB1 it takes me. I like Joe. Joe's good. Joe still got skills. Joe won a Super Bowl in Baltimore, and he was a factor in that game. So I like Joe. Joe needs to go home and sit down with his kids. And there's a picture somebody posted of him smiling on the sideline watching Shedeur, and this someone captioned it, and someone comment said that Joe Burrow smiling because he know he's going to get paid for a full season and be done in 2 or 3 games. And I thought that was hilarious because Joe Flacco is a good QB and he's excellent. He's proven himself. He has a big arm. He's one of those guys that has a big arm. He can really throw the ball. He can really gun that sucker. But I don't think that Joe Burrow, I'm sorry, I keep saying Joe Burrow. See, that's my guy. I don't think Joe Flacco has intentions on playing the entire season, and he shouldn't. And he's not gonna. I don't think Kenny Pickett is the answer. I just don't. I've seen Kenny Pickett play. Have you? You all have too. That's why he wasn't a starter anywhere else. And the fact that even after that game, Shedeur is still the fourth quarterback on the chart. I don't really understand I'm not there, so I don't know everything that's going on in the Cleveland Browns organization, or what's going on in with practices and things like that. But from everything that I could see, he looks like he's earned that. He does. He looks like he earned. I think he's going to split reps with Gabriel probably coming up this Saturday. I don't think Kenny Pickett is going to play. I think he's going to split reps with him, and he's going to, like I said, I think he's a good QB. I do. I thought he was a good QB in Colorado. And you see what he can do with an offensive line. He makes good decisions. He's smart. Your quarterback, you do want to have physical abilities. Everybody wants Pat Mahomes. Everybody wants Jalen Hurts. Everybody wants Lamar Jackson. But everybody isn't that. There are some quarterbacks who are just like Tom Brady. Tom Brady was not the best athlete, but he's the best quarterback of all time. And there's not even, who's the close second? Like, Tom Brady is a winner. He may not have been the most physically gifted player on the field, but in most cases, he was the smartest. And that speaks volumes. And it shows because he knew what to do. And I feel like that with a quarterback can take you further than your physical ability. Because we've seen some physical quarterbacks that have just been top tier. Like, we really have Cam Newton. Cam Newton is the biggest person I've ever seen in my life. He's massive, and he had all this ability. He was an excellent quarterback. He was excellent at Auburn. He was excellent in Carolina. He was excellent everywhere he went. Like, New England, he was really, really good. He had all the physical ability in the world. And I'm not saying that he wasn't smart. I'm just saying that when you have all that physical ability, a lot of times you will rely on that more than what you know. And I think that kind of hurts those physical quarterbacks. I think it hurts Lamar Jackson sometimes. The unique thing about Pat Mahomes is that he kind of has a good balance. You know what I mean? He has some physical ability. He can run, he can move, he can see things, but he also doesn't necessarily, if this breaks down, I can just run. He kind of goes through his progression, so to speak. So that is kind of that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying quarterbacks with physical ability aren't smart. Every quarterback in the league that gets a chance to start, you have to be a very smart person. That is the most difficult position in sports. Argue with your mama, argue with your daddy, don't argue with me. It is the most difficult position to play. Think about all the things they have to know and do in under 5 seconds, under 2 seconds. Everybody's not Ben Roethlisberger holding the ball for 8 seconds. Think of what they have to do that quickly when they're, depending on defense, 4, 5, 6, 10 guys coming at you with full force. And you have to trust that this guy is going to block you, and that guy is going to block you, and this guy is going to be where he's supposed to be, and he's not. And you have to do all of that in like 2 seconds. Quarterback is the smartest position in sports. It just is. And I think that looking at the way that the position is evolving, a person like Pat Mahomes, that's who you want on your team. You do. And I know they lost the Super Bowl last year. That wasn't all on him. It can't be. This is the ultimate team sport. But look at what Jalen Hurts could do. Jalen Hurts is a great pocket passer. He has decent legs. He knows when to run, when to be still, when to throw the ball, when to tuck and run. Like, he's smart, and I think that goes a long way. And this is how I know Shedeur will be fine. This is how I know that Cam Ward will be fine, because sometimes in college you can get away with those physical plays, those quick runs and things like that. It doesn't necessarily work that way in the NFL because the game is lightning fast. Like, it's really, really fast. I watch college football. I don't really watch it that much, but I do watch it. When you're watching it, you can see that it moves a little slower than the NFL. It does prepare you for the NFL, But those guys are bigger. Those guys are faster. They've been doing it longer. So sometimes it can, the progression, especially when you're playing a position like quarterback, it takes a minute. And if these guys have, the right pieces around them, and a coach that believes in them, and a GM and personnel people that gets them the right things, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. And this is what I see for Cam Ward. And this is what I see for Shedeur. And I really feel like I don't know what Cleveland's doing. Shedeur should be at least number 2, at minimum, number 2 quarterback on the depth chart. But we still got more rookies to talk about. Shiloh played his first game. Now I love Deion's voice. And Shiloh looked pretty good. Shiloh looked good. I mean, he looks a little rogue out there. He's a hitter. He'll hit. He's not. Everyone talks about Deion not hitting, but he's a hitter. I think Shiloh's going to do okay. Shiloh looked good too. But again, this is preseason. They're playing second and third string. This is to get them prepared. This is to get them to, okay, so this is what it's going to be like. It's going to be more difficult. And I think Shiloh's going to do okay in Tampa. I like Todd Bowles. I've always liked Todd Bowles. I liked him everywhere he went. He's a defensive guy. So it's a good place for him to land because he will get a chance to develop a lot of those skills that he has, along with his natural physical ability. Same thing with Travis Hunter. That game was fun. So I was around for like a little bit of time when Shedeur Sanders played like a little bit of wide receiver. Because if you were old as me, you know that sometimes he would line up as wide receiver, and we thought that was so exciting that he played both sides of the ball. That's not something that you normally see. Looking at Travis Hunter do both, it was just sweet. Like, it was nice to watch. Now, me personally, I think he's a better corner DB than he is a wide receiver. That's not to say he's not good at both, because I think he is. I just think he's better at one than the other. But man, that game was good. And it was interesting to see him, make those moves and those progressions. And we forget, looks like Shedeur was all over the news. And that's not Shedeur's fault. That there were some good players and some interesting storylines coming out of college this year. And one of those was Travis Hunter. And Jacksonville said out up front, we're going to play him on both sides of the ball, and they are. So I liked how it looked in preseason. I want to know what it's going to look like once we get into the NFL setting. Like, I'm really interested in that, and I hope you guys are too. But those are my takes for the games this week. I'm not going to do a top 5 because we're talking real football right now. We might get into a top 5 again later on, if you guys want to. But this has been episode 6 of the Fourth and Fierce podcast. Again, like, follow, and subscribe. If you want to argue with me or fiercely debate me about anything I've said here today or something else, please feel free to reach out to me at fourthandfierce@gmail.com. That's the number 4, THANDFIERCE@gmail.com. In any event, guys, football is back. I'm super excited. I can't wait to talk to you guys again so we can do week 2. In any event, everyone, enjoy your day.